Okay, so we have gone through the theory of EC2 machine. What is EC2 machine? What are the different option type? We have also learned about EBS volumes. What are EBS volume? What are the EBS volumes type? We have gone to console. We have created EBS volumes. We have attached. Uh, we understood what is root volume. Then we also gone through what is external or extra or volumes attached on EC2 machines. How can we change the configuration on the fly of the EBS volume? All this we have covered. So we have gone in detail about how what is root volume and what are extra volumes, and we have seen in the lab as well. We have also seen that different type of EBS volume which are bootable volume, which are non-bootable volumes. All these things we have covered till now. Any doubt on that? Till now, what we have learned? Okay. Now, today we are going to see more things on EC2. EC2, we are going to create EC2 machine. We are going to see what are the other properties and configuration available in EC2. So go to instance. I'm in Mumbai. Create launch instance. Give any name to your machine. Linux 2. Okay. So this is the OS which we are selecting. Next, T2 micro, key value pair. Now, existing security group. Here you can select the availability zone. Click on edit and select the availability zone. Let's say AP South 1B. So you can see a subnet. What is subnet and what is VPC we will cover in VPC section. But currently you can just remember that from subnets you can select the availability zone. Here you can select in which availability zone your EC2 machine should be created. So unlike S3 that you don't have to select any availability zone, only you have to create a region. In EC2 machine you have to select the availability zone as well, because your EC2 machine will be in a single availability zone. Your EC2 machine will be in single availability zone. So if that availability zone goes down, your EC2 machine will also go down. Okay, if that availability zone goes down or there is an issue in that availability zone, you will lose your EC2 machine as well. Okay. Next, network configuration not required. Okay, just select one security group, scroll down. We have seen the configuration of our storage. Okay, you can encrypt your data. You can select encryption here, and this is delete on termination. So this parameter I have explained you. If you want your root volume to be deleted as soon as you delete your EC2 machine, then you should select the delete on termination. Okay. Now, if you are attaching an external volume, if you are attaching a extra volumes, so generally we are not selecting delete on termination. Okay. Why? Because in external volume we prefer to store the user data. What is mean by user data? The data which on root device we only the root volume we only store the application or the OS, but on the external volume, the volume which we added apart from root volume, we store our user data, whatever the things which we want to do inside EC2 machine that require data. So that data we store in our additional volumes. Okay, so delete on termination we select as no in additional volumes. Okay, if you want you can encrypt your data. So Amazon will encrypt your data on your EBS volume. Now go to the advanced feature. Go here in advanced feature. So now remember spot instance. What is spot instance? We can ask Amazon uh, or we can bid the amount for this EC2 machine. So what is the cost of this EC2 machine right now? If you are not in free tier, then what is the cost of this machine? If you go here and check instance type, T2 micro, the cost is 0.0124. Okay. Now, if I don't want to pay that much amount. I don't want to pay 0.0124. Instead of that, I want to pay less. So you can go with the spot instance here. Click on customize and set your price. Okay. So 0.012 is the price. If I want to uh, give my price, so something like this 04. Okay. So this is how you give the price for your spot instance. So select the spot instance, then set your maximum price and one time. And remember I have already informed you that Amazon keep on changing the GUI. So you might see if you are visiting some YouTube videos, you might see that EC2 console was totally different couple of months back as compared to in 2023. They completely changed the EC2 console. Okay. Now I am instance profile or basically it's a role. We talk about what is role, how we can attach the role here. So from here I can attach a role. I am IAM role. Then DNS not required, auto recovery not required, behavior shutdown. So if you click on the shutdown, do you want to stop the machine or do you want to terminate the machine? So you can select it. These are the few extra settings you can do with your EC2 machine. Now CloudWatch monitoring. We are going to cover about CloudWatch. What is CloudWatch monitoring? If you want to change the property of CloudWatch, you can set from here. So let's cover the theory first, then come back to here. Placement group also, we'll talk about that in detail. So these are the extra information, extra parameter you can set of your EC2 machine apart from default parameter. If you're not selecting anything, if you're not changing anything, it will be selected by default for you. But if you want to customize your EC2 machine, it's a computer, it's a machine. There are a number of things which you can change, like tendency. So we talk about dedicate host, right? So by default, it is shared resource. By default, it's a shared resource. Your EC2 machine is shared between multiple. The common hardware is shared between multiple EC2 machine, right? If you want dedicate host, you can click here. Run a dedicated instance for me. That means the underlying hardware will not share with multiple people. Okay, so here you can change couple of properties. So one thing is to how to spin up a spot instance. So you can bid a price. Okay, so what is the price right now? 0.01. So you can amend 0.012, and what price I have got 0.004. So instead of 12, I am asking the machine at 4. Okay, $4. So just click on launch. Now you can see Amazon has initiated the creation of machine. So I'm getting this machine as at the cost lower cost as compared to what Amazon is charging for on demand. And you can see the same here, spot instance request. So you can request for spot instance, or if you have created any machine which is on spot, which comes under spot instance category, you can see the list here. So this machine we have created right now, status is successful, fulfill one time. Okay, your maximum price is this much. I'm going to pay. Okay, let this machine start. Meanwhile, you can see saving plan reserve instance. So we talk about reserve instance. If I want to purchase a reserve instance, so the instance which I want going to run for a longer period of time. So if you search here T2 micro, okay, just search T2 micro, right? For T2 micro, if I'm going to reserve an instance for 12 months, so actual price is 0.01. 0.01. Now you can see if I'm reserving for 12 months, the price has gone zero point 0.0 from 0.01, it has gone from 0.007. And if you are paying upfront, this is a charge. Okay, so for a year, if you are selecting EC2 machine, if you are running EC2 machine for a year, you have to pay $63. That's it. Only $63 for 12 months. Okay, that's a all upfront payment. Same thing if you're not doing upfront payments, so this is a charge 0.008 dollar. Then convertible, if you want to select convertible, this is a charge. If you are going for 36 months and all upfront payment, you can see that you are getting more discounts. And this is a reserve instance. Basically, I'm reserving the instance for this number of months, and depending on the payment type, you are getting discounts like partial payment, up complete upfront payment, no payment. So according to the payment and convertible, these are the few couple of things you can get some discount. So this is default tendency, means on a shared drive. If you are clicking on dedicate instance, so you can see there are no dedicated instance for T2 micro. Okay, M4 large machine. So these are the price for dedicated instance for M4 price. So you can search, you can check it your which machine do you want to go for the reserve instance. Okay, why we go with the reserve instance? Because I know that I'm going to run my EC2 machines 24 cross 7 and I don't want to pay the on demand price, so I can just ask Amazon for reserve instance. Okay, I'm reserving this instance for 12 months. Got it? So you can reserve an instance from here. Similarly, a dedicate host, if you have selected or you have can ask a dedicate host from Amazon. From here, give a name, family, which family do you want to have a dedicate host, T family. Which AWS zone do you want to create this thing? Okay, yeah, that's it. Just create a dedicate host. So these are the on the required basis. So you are not going to create a dedicated host on a regular basis until unless your company asks you to create a regular dedicate host or reserve instance. You're not going to create them, right? Mostly, most of the companies we are working on demand, or we go with spot instance. Okay. Any question till here? What are the properties of EC2 machine? Now this machine I have just created, you can see some property. That name, we have an instance ID. This is a unique ID of your EC2 machine. Again, it's a unique ID. So if you are creating a machine, this unique ID will not be allocated to any other machine. Even if you terminate this machine and you go back to Amazon after 1 month, that I want some information about this machine, Amazon support center will help you out with the details. So this is a unique identification number for your machine. So no two EC2 machine will have same instance ID. Always remember, no two EC2 machine will have same instance ID. Okay. Then after that, status running. After that, you can see the instance type. It's a T2 micro. It's in under free tier. Then security check. So whenever Amazon create a machine for you, whenever Amazon launches a machine for you, Amazon do some basic security checks. Okay, security checks and some status checks. So it runs some codes which checks the health of the EC2 machine which is created by them. Okay, so to make sure that the machine is passing all the parameters, so that is a status check. So there are some cases where the machine which is created by Amazon or is not passing this security check or the status check. So that in that case, Amazon terminates that machine and recreate again. So at what time this check happens? As soon as you launch your EC2 machine, this status check will be getting executed. Okay, it will start executing. Okay, just to make sure your EC2 machine is working properly or not properly. So there are some security checks which will be running as soon as you start your machine. Okay, is there an alarm, any security alarm? Is there any uh, issue in the machine, or you have set some alarm or notification on your EC2 machine, so you can find it here. Then in which availability zone this machine was created? It was created in AP South 1B. So we selected availability zone B. Public DNS address. Okay, public IP address. This is the IP address which we use to log in into the EC2 machine. This is public IP address. Elastic IP, IPv6. If you have added IPv4, IPv6. This is IPv4, and if you have enabled IPv6 for your machine, so it will be available here. So if you have enabled IPv6 in your network, then it will be allocated to your EC2 machine. Okay, monitoring. Right now it's disabled, so we by default we get a default monitoring. We'll see that. Security group. Which security group you have attached to this EC2 machine? Which key value pair you have configured in this EC2 machine? At what time this EC2 machine was started? Okay, in many companies it is required. Why? Because they want to monitor that any machine is running for last 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. So in that case, the launch time becomes important. And what is the OS? It is a Linux. Same configuration is available here. Same information. So instance summary, instance ID. It's a unique ID for your machine. Public IP address, and it's a private IP address. So we have two type of IP address. One is public and what is private. So whenever you want to connect to your EC2 machine, you need to use public IP address. Private IP address will be used within the network. Okay, when you are in a Amazon network, that time you are going to use private IP address. Instance status, it's running. IPv6, it's not allocated. DNS for your EC2 machine. And then VPC ID. So when we will cover VPC, that time this will help you out. So right now we have used default VPC and a secured subnet for that. Elastic IP we are going to cover in some time. IAM role. Did you attach a role to your EC2 machine? Okay. Then coming to instance detail. So what platform you are using? We are using in Linux system, and this is the OS version ID. So AMI ID, Amazon Machine Image. So I have shown you, we can select or we can select n number of OS from Amazon. Okay, right now we are selecting the default one. If you search here, you can see the list of OS available. Okay, if you want a Mac OS, if you want Red Hat, Ubuntu, Windows, these are a list of OS available in Amazon, and each OS has different property, and according to the property you can create select your OS, but it has a unique name as number as well. So this is AMI number. So right now we created Linux 2, so you can see this is the AMI number for that. This is OS number, you can say. Okay, so in Amazon you have n number of OS available, remember that. Okay, there are few provided by Amazon, there are a couple of that uh, are provided by different vendors like Microsoft. Okay, and the others are developed and created by users or companies. So there are some OS which are not directly provided by Amazon but by third party vendors, and you can go and check it out the price. So even for OS there are price associated to it. Even for OS there are price associated to it. So some OS are chargeable, so you have to bear in mind, you have to check the property, and you have to check the config sheet of that particular OS. So when selecting your OS, you have to check all the property, all the pricing sheet of that. Okay, then stop protection. So stop protection, okay, I will talk about that. Location not required. Lifecycle spot instance, we have created this as spot instance. Key value pair, each key value pair which you have used in this machine, so you can find it these things, and some other parameters. Owner, host name, 10 days default. So reservation, no, there is no reservation as such. Security. So again, all these parameters we have covered here. Amazon has created a separate. Still, they have created a separate tab. So IAM role, security group again with security group, and here they have given what ports we have opened in the security group. You know, so you don't have to go here in security group and check. You can just check it here as well. Network, this is all regarding related to network. So you are creating a machine has some network information as well. Public IP address, private IP address, DNS, subnet. Okay, these are the few information. Storage. So we have seen yesterday that uh, we can attach EBS volume to our EC2 machine. So you can get the list of EBS volume attached on this EC2 machine. Right now only this EC2 machine is on this EC2 machine only one EBS volume is attached, and you can see the property delete on termination, encryption no, status security check, all the status are been passed. Now coming to monitoring. Now this is important. Monitoring, just like when you go to task manager in your local system, you see some graph, right? CPU utilization, memory utilization, disk utilization, Wi-Fi, GPU, all the information is given as in this graph, right? So for your this EC2 machine, Amazon has been providing you out of the box free monitoring. This is called monitoring. So all these monitorings are available for you for your EC2 machine at free of cost. And where they are stored in CloudWatch. If you click here, if you click on the view matrices, it will open a console called CloudWatch. What is CloudWatch? What are the things we can do? We are going to cover in some time. Okay. So by default, all the matrices, all the system log, all the application logs goes in CloudWatch. You can see there is logs called, and using that logs, the graphs are created. How graphs are created in general? You require some data, right? How to create a graph, to create a matrices, you require data, right? For CPU utilization, you require every second how much CPU is being utilized. First, you require that data, and after that, that data will be plotted on the graph. So to collect and store the data, you require one service, that is CloudWatch. We'll talk about that in detail. So what type of matrices are available out of the box for you? CPU utilization, then status check, then network, how much uh, internet you are using in this day, in this EC2 machine. Okay, how much amount of data you are reading and sending out of this EC2 machine, how much data you are talking, or how much amount of data you are exchanging out in and out of your EC2 machine. Network package count, disk read, so how much amount of data you are reading from disk on a, then how much amount of data you are reading and writing. That information is coming here, you'll find here. So you can see the graph here, it's very low. Okay, 0.02% count, something like that. Okay, then CPU credits, these are the some information available. Now here if you observe, we don't have memory utilization, how much RAM is being utilized in your EC2 machine. So CPU it's available, but RAM, how much amount of RAM is being consumed by your EC2 machine right now, it's not available. By default, RAM or memory information is not available, and this become an exam question. Out of these four matrices, which is not available, something like this direct question is been asked in exam. Out of the given four matrices, which matrices is not available in EC2 machine out of the box, or which are available? So you should be aware of this. So memory, a very common answer is memory matrices or RAM information is not available in your matrices by default out of the box. You can enable them in the separate case, but out of the box, your memory utilization is not available. Okay, if you go here in matrices, you will see at what time it has captured 2:55, 3 o'clock, 3:05. Every 5 minutes, the information is getting populated. That means by default, all the matrices are plotted on an interval of 5 minutes. This is our default configuration. It is not going to capture per second information. These matrices are designed to capture and plot for every 5 minutes interval. You can see the health of your EC2 machine every 5 minutes, but we can change it to 1 minute, up to 1 minute, but we have to pay charge. So if you want to check the health of your machine and monitor the health of your machine every 1 minute, we can configure that. Okay, but it's chargeable. Any question till here? Tags, just extra information like what is the name of your machine right now. You can add n number of tags. Any question about EC2 property? Okay. So let's log in into this machine. Go to putty, type ec2 hyphen user at the rate public IP address. Go to SSH authentication credential. Browse to your key ppk, accept, and you have logged into your EC2 machine. Let me change the setting, increase the font. Okay. So now you have logged into your EC2 machine. What you can do that with that? It's a machine as per your use case, as per your requirement. You can use this EC2 machine. So today we are going to do one thing. We are going to host a website in EC2. So remember we hosted a website in S3, and what type of website we hosted in S3? Tell me. What type of website we hosted in S3? What are the categories of website available in general? We have categorized website in two categories. Remember what type of websites are there? And other is right. We have create. There are two type of websites: static and dynamic. And what type of website we hosted in S3? What type of website is supported by S3? Only static, right? Then I told you that we are going to host. We can host dynamic and static website in EC2 machine. It's a machine, so we can host any type of website here, right? So you can go log in into the your EC2 machine, and I will show you a steps how we can do that. You have script called bootstrap script. Just open it on the notepad. Okay, so this is a bootstrap script. You just have to check it out. Now you can see yum update. Before that, go to your EC2 machine. Now which user I have logged in with? Which user I have logged in EC2 machine with? It's EC2 user. You can see user ID. Now, if I want to go to the admin, or in Linux it is called root user. Okay, so what is the command? Su hyphen what was the command? I forgot. Sudo su. Yes, sudo su is a command to switch to root user. You can see here. Okay, to switch to root user, you have to type sudo su. Now you can see I have switched to root user. That is admin, power super user. Okay. Now, first thing you have to update your system. So how you can update your system? Yum is a command that initiate that I am doing some installation, uninstallation, upgradation. Yum install. Okay, if you want to install anything, if you want to update anything, yum update. Okay, if I press enter, it will check what updates are available, and it will give a prompt. Do you want to install or not? There is nothing to update right now. Okay, so now let's install the application. Now to host a website, on a server, you require a hosting server. To host a website in your machine, you require some hosting server, or basically you require a software which will help you to host a website. So this is your machine in your local also, or on your EC2 machine, doesn't matter. You require an application, you require a software which you need to install, on which you are going to host your website. Right here you are going to put the files, that files will be used to host the website. Before that, you have to install a software. So you might have uh, you can search online hosting softwares. So you will find a number of hosting web server, but for Linux I am going to use Apache HTTP server. This is for Linux HTTP server. It helps you to host website in your EC2 machine or Linux server. It's free of cost. So either you can download from here for your Windows. Okay, it's also available for Windows, or you can just type some command, httpd, yum install httpd. So yum install httpd is the code. If you click enter, so you can see it has checked, it has found the software, and it is asking you to press yes. So yes and enter. Okay, so if you append -y, so it will not ask you to press enter, it will not ask you to confirm. So -y is basically you are giving yes, find this application and install directly. Okay, so as soon as you install this software, a path is created in this folder. Go to where cd where. So to change the folder, you have to type cd. Okay, change directory /where. Here you will find so many folders are available. Okay, here you will find a folder named www. So basically you have to go inside this folder, cd /where/www httpd html folder. Okay, so I have written cd where www html folder. So this is the folder where you have to create or download your complete website. Just like in S3, you have to specify the index.html. Here in this folder, you have to keep all the files related to your website. आपकी जो भी फाइल्स है वेबसाइट के रिलेटेड, सब कुछ आपको इस फोल्डर में डालना पड़ेगा, where/www/html. This is again related to that software which we have installed, Apache HTTP, उसकी प्रॉपर्टी है. इसमें क्या है, Apache HTTP जब आप इंस्टॉल करते हो, whenever you installing Apache HTTP, it creates this folder and asks you to put all the files related to your website in this folder. Now to create a simple website, I'm just creating hello world. Hello guys, welcome to my website. Okay, these are very simple. Just copy these things, it will create a file. How can you create a file? Again, if you are well familiar with Linux, you can do that. Otherwise, I will explain you in a very simple way how can you create a file. Okay, but just write this, copy paste this command. Now you can see, just click on ls, type ls. Ls means list. So you can see a file. Open this file, cat index.html. You can see the file information is printed in the console. So this file is created. So what we have done till now, we have updated our system, we have installed Apache, then we have gone to this folder and we have created this file. That's it. Now the last part is to start Apache, to start the web hosting. So we have just installed, we didn't started the application. हमने सॉफ्टवेयर इंस्टॉल करके रखा है, हमने स्टार्ट नहीं किया है. जस्ट लाइक यू हैव टू स्टार्ट योर VLC प्लेयर, यू हैव टू स्टार्ट योर notepad or your word. It is installed but we haven't started. So this is a command, service httpd start. Now this command, this software is not related to exam, this is just for practice. Okay, so we have started Apache, you can see. Okay, and if you want to check the status, the command is service httpd status. Service http status. So you can see it's running. So we have successfully hosted a website in EC2 machine. Now how can I access that website? Simple. Go to your EC2 machine, copy this public IP address and paste it in your browser. http // and IP address. So you can see, hi guys, welcome to my website. Okay. So why I remember I asked you to open the security group for HTTP, this protocol 80. If you didn't allow HTTP, you will not able to access the website. Remember मैंने security group में आपको बोला था, go to your security group. This is the security group which we have created, right? Here you have enable HTTP. It's run on port 80. अगर आपने इसको हटा दिया यहाँ से, okay, if you remove this from here and save it, so you will not able to access the website. You can see if I refresh it. So what is happening here? From your local laptop, this is your local laptop, you are sending a request to this EC2 machine on which protocol? HTTP protocol. It is IP address. You want to connect to this EC2 machine on which protocol? HTTP protocol. So here security group is going to control the traffic. Because you have removed the HTTP protocol from security group, you are not able to connect to this EC2 machine. वो block कर रहा है security group basically. Click on edit. So add HTTP here. So and open to world 0000/0. Save it. So as soon as you save it, it takes couple of seconds, not more than that, and your security group is updated. Clear how we can host a website? Any question? So there are steps I have already written in the file name as bootstrap script. Okay, even in your assignment you will find the same thing. So you can do your assignment, you can create your EC2 machine, you can host a website in your EC2 machine. All this information is already here. Delete on termination, you can check it out here. Even here I have shown you how you can log in into your, or how to create Windows machine. Okay, for that you might have to create a security group, RDP. Okay, delete your machine. Then this is for your this assignment part number 4 is of your EBS volume, how you can create different EBS volume and change the configuration of that. So you can check it out, the assignment number 1, and try it yourself. Okay, any question? Now I will show you one more thing. So what website has hosted? whatever the content you have put in the this drive, this folder, okay, and the file is html dot index.html. And what is the content of this? Simple: hello guys, welcome to my world. Now the website is hosted. Remember, in EC2 machine, so in S3 also we hosted a similar website. It's a static website. If you want to host a dynamic website, just find out which software will help you out to host that. So Apache is there, Tomcat is there. You might have seen this in many website. You might have seen this symbol, something like this. So if you find this type of error, so you can imagine that that website which you are trying to access is hosted on Tomcat server. Tomcat is a software, okay, which helps you to host a website. Again, it's free. Okay, so these are the few websites. These are few things you can install on your machine. Okay, now, so right now I have hosted a very simple website. Similarly, we did in S3, but there I have also customized my website. How? Free website template. Remember, we downloaded freecss.com. We downloaded this template. So let's click here, car villa. Nice. So you can download this template in that folder. So just copy the URL, copy the download URL, go to your EC2 machine, okay, and I'm deleting this file. So as soon as you delete this file and try to access the website, what you will see here. So there is no index.html. So you can see you have not created index.html. You now need to go to this folder and put some content in this folder. So because index.html file is not there, your EC2 machine, something like this will be populated. So basically you just have to open your EC2 machine public IP address. Public IP address copy करो, paste कर दो browser पे. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this download URL and I will get that information. To download anything in your Linux machine, the command is wget. Wget. So you can see it has started downloading. So you can the zip folder has been downloaded. Now unzip it. So command is simple unzip and for file name. Unzip and file name. Very simple. Now I have zip folder and I have this folder. So I'm deleting the zip folder. I don't require this folder right now. rm-rf carvilla.zip. Okay, just only this folder is there. Let's go inside this folder and you will see there are index.html and some folder. But I don't want this index.html in carvilla. I want this folder in all the content of this folder in HTML folder. So go to HTML folder. Okay, simple. Copy or move all the content from carvilla folder to this folder. Now you can see I have copied that thing. Again, all these are Linux commands. I'm not so I will just do a small demo on Linux command, but simply in your local system also you are doing manually, right, through GUI. But Linux system, in Linux there is no GUI, you have to type everything. So basically till now what I have done, I have just downloaded this Carvilla soft package, unzipped it, and I have moved the content of this in HTML folder. That's it. पैकेट डाउनलोड किया, उसको अनजिप किया और उसका सारा कंटेंट इस फोल्डर में डाल दिया. अब ये फोल्डर डिलीट खाली हो गया, इसको डिलीट कर दो, कुछ काम का नहीं है. नाउ यू कैन सी, लेट मी क्लियर द स्क्रीन. All the content is in this folder, index.html, asserts, readme. Okay. Now if I go here and just refresh this page, or just copy the public URL of your EC2 machine, you can see the website is hosted in your EC2 machine. Again, it's a static website right now. For dynamic, you require a high level coding, more codes, but just for starters, you can see this website is hosted on your EC2 machine, right? Only problem is that hosting a website in EC2 machine is you have to run your EC2 machine 24/7. You have to run this machine. We have hosted this website on EC2, right? On some machine. You can host a website in your local system as well, but you have to run that machine 24/7. If somebody is coming on your page or not, it doesn't matter. You have to run your website to make your website available 24/7. You have to make sure your EC2 machine is running as well. Okay. That's why we went for S3. It is cheaper option for static website. Otherwise, if it's a dynamic, you have to go with EC2 machine. Any question? Any question on this? Yes, no? So this is basics of EC2 machine. Okay. I just want to cover one topic. It's a small topic. It will take hardly 15 minutes. Let's cover it. Now, what is CloudWatch? So we are going to cover two topics, CloudWatch and CloudTrail. So what is CloudWatch first of all? So whenever you create a system, if your local system is there, your local laptop, your mobile, your EC2 machine, your S3, every machine and every system creates some logs. Okay, application log, your OS logs, okay, your failure logs. When you install anything, the logs are created, right? So there should be some play. Similarly, in cloud also, whenever you are running some EC2 machine, you are running your S3 bucket or creating a user, all these things, logs will be getting created. What is log? It's a general information about the activity you are doing, or what is the health of your machine, what is CPU utilization, what is memory utilization. All these logs are being generated continuously, and you need to capture that log and store in a unique place or a unified defined place. That's where CloudWatch comes in picture. And sometime using that logs, you might need to create alarms. So I hope that you have created your billing alarm. If you have created, anyone of you created the billing alarm, that time also we have used CloudWatch. So billing, basically whatever the logs is generated by billing dashboard is been sent to CloudWatch. Okay, and there the CloudWatch is going to monitor it, and if there is a issue, it will going to raise an alarm. So CloudWatch is a monitoring service for AWS cloud resources and application you run on AWS. सो कुछ भी आप AWS पे बना रहे हो, everything is monitored by CloudWatch. You can use CloudWatch to collect and track matrices, collect and monitor logs, and set an alarm. This is a primary thing CloudWatch is used. So any log, system log, your OS log, your application log, as well as your health of your machine, all this create some logs, some data. That data needs to be collected in a centralized place. It is in cloud. It is called CloudWatch. Using these logs, you can create matrices, you can create metrics, and create an alarm. If just like in billing, if your billing is going more than $1 a day, then you should raise an alarm. So that information and tracking is done by CloudWatch. So what you can monitor for your storage, you can monitor EC2 machine, Autoscale, load balancer, Route 53, and so on. These are the few services. And storage, you can monitor your S3, you can monitor your EBS volume, CloudFront, anything you create in AWS, you can monitor that. Okay, anything you create in EC2 in AWS, you can monitor using CloudWatch. So you can go here, click on CloudWatch. So it's a resource monitoring service. Okay, so right now all the matrices of EC2 machine, you can see here matrices of EC2 machine are stored here. So if you just copy your instance ID and search it here, okay, you can see all the matrices which are given out of the box are available here. CPU utilization. So you can see CPU utilization of your machine. Okay, network, how much data you are reading and writing, you can see here. Now you will say, sir, यहाँ पे क्यों देखना है? If you can see here, so by default all the matrices are there in CloudWatch. Always remember, CloudWatch में ही matrices दिखती है. But Amazon has given you a feature where these matrices are pulled from CloudWatch and displayed in your EC2 section. ये जितने भी आप यहाँ पे देख रहे हो, ये CloudWatch में से ही आ रहा है. बस यहाँ पे उसको एक और टैब दे दिया है. सो आपको CloudWatch में जाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी है. बिफोर लाइक इन 2016-17 यहाँ पे ये टैब नहीं था मॉनिटरिंग वाला. हमको CloudWatch में जाके अपना EC2 मशीन सर्च करना पड़ता था और फिर देखना पड़ता था उसका CPU utilization status क्या था. But they have right now added this tab here. If you click here and you can see the matrices, it will navigate you to your CloudWatch. It will again navigate you to CloudWatch. You can see manage detail monitoring. Now by default it will capture your data every 5 minutes. I told you. You can see 310, 315, 320, 325. हर 5 मिनट में ही डेटा आएगा यहाँ पे CloudWatch में. ये डिफॉल्ट प्रॉपर्टी है EC2 मशीन की. Okay, even you can check the monitoring of your S3 bucket as well. You can see S3. So S3 का वहाँ पे डैशबोर्ड देखा था हमने S3 bucket का. So S3 bucket के डैशबोर्ड है. So ये हमारी S3 bucket थी. Okay, इसमें डेटा कम है. Okay. So you can see some matrices of your S3 bucket. S3 bucket की डिटेल यहाँ पे है. सो सारे जो भी आप एप्लीकेशन यूज कर रहे हो सबकी डिटेल यहाँ पे आती है. हाँ, but nowadays they are giving a small uh, tab. You can directly monitor from here as well. Okay, but by default, all your matrices are stored in CloudWatch. Okay, and the logs related to that are stored here in log group. Okay, right now there is no log group as such. This is not required. Let me delete them. Okay, if you are running, you creating your application, आप कोई सॉफ्टवेयर बना रहे हो और उसकी इंफॉर्मेशन अगर आपको स्टोर करनी है, यू कैन स्टोर इन क्लाउड वॉच. सो जस्ट लाइक इन विंडोज, जब भी आपको इंस्टॉल करते हो, देखा ना आपने, कुछ लॉग्स बनते हैं, कुछ प्रिंट होता है. अगर वैसा कुछ आपको स्टोर करवाना है, सो यू कैन, जस्ट लाइक अभी EC2 मशीन में हमने इंस्टॉल किया था, राइट, सॉफ्टवेयर इंस्टॉल किया था, तो देखा था ना बहुत सारे लॉग्स बन रहे थे. दैट लॉग्स नीड्स टू बी स्टोर्ड, यू कैन स्टोर इन क्लाउड वॉच अंडर log group. Now, next is you are getting CPU. What type of logs are been captured for EC2 machine? CPU utilization, network utilization, disk utilization, status check. This type of matrices is available out of the box, but memory की नहीं है. Remember, memory की matrices नहीं है. Memory की matrices out of the box available नहीं है. We can enable that in from your EC2 machine. आपको EC2 मशीन में जाके वो क्लाउड वॉच की सेटिंग चेंज करनी पड़ती है, बट आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स इट्स नॉट अवेलेबल. नाउ नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज क्लाउड ट्रेल. ओके, व्हाट इज क्लाउड ट्रेल? नाउ वी till now we have talked about the logs, and logs are generated by system. System मतलब computer. S3 machine, S3 again it's a computer, it's a hardware, right? So जो भी वो एक्टिविटी कर रहे हो आप उसमें, okay, data of that, how much data you have stored, or for EC2 machine how much is the network utilization, CPU utilization, this information is generated by computer. But if you want to monitor a user कि यूजर क्या कर रहा है, right? Right now I'm an admin user, right, a root user. So what activity a user is doing, you can monitor that as well. आपकी कंपनी में 1000 लोग हैं, हजारों के ऊपर मॉनिटर नहीं कर सकते ना आप. So for that, each user, each person, you are going to create a user for that, and you can monitor his activity. That is where CloudTrail comes in picture. CloudTrail monitors the user activity. So you can identify which user an account called AWS, yes. So CloudTrail provide visibility into user activity by recording action taken on your account. So यूजर क्या एक्टिविटी कर रहा है आपके अकाउंट में, आप मॉनिटर कर सकते हो. सो क्लाउड ट्रेल इज ऑल अबाउट यूजर. ओके, यू कैन आइडेंटिफाई व्हाट एक्टिविटी that person is doing in your AWS account, what is the IP address, what things he is calling and when he is doing. All this information you can capture. So CloudTrail record important information about each action, including who made the request, service used, action performed, parameter taken in that action, response given by Amazon. So जो भी एक्टिविटी आप कर रहे हो वो कैप्चर होती है. ओके, इट्स जस्ट लाइक अ CCTV कैमरा, कि आप क्या क्या कर रहे हो वो सारा रिकॉर्ड होता है. ओके, सो आई विल शो यू इन द कंसोल. सो Amazon in exam they confuse us different between CloudTrail and CloudWatch. So the major difference is CloudTrail is used for user only. So if you go here, go to the event history, you can see the activity I have done from morning. देखिए 19 October I have deleted the log group, right? I have started a machine, EC2 machine, right? Deleted a log group. Who is the user? This is a user. If you click on this, you will see so many information कि मैंने एक EC2 मशीन बनाया. ओके, यहाँ पे मेरा खुद का आईपी एड्रेस भी आएगा. यू कैन सी यहाँ पे मेरे को आईपी एड्रेस या सोर्स आईपी, ये मेरा मेरा आईपी एड्रेस है. ओके, so all this information is captured. And why this information is required? So let's say your account has been hacked. Okay, let's say you have a company and there 50 people are working, and out of that 50 people, one person account was hacked. So you want to know what type of activity is done by that particular person. अगर हैक करने के बाद उसने क्या क्या किया है, अगर आपको देखना है तो आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हो. Second, let's say there is some person whom you have identified that he is a mole in the company. He is doing a suspicious activity in your company. So you will terminate that person if you find out. But what activity is done or what type of damage is done by that person, right? You can capture here. So you can see if I am a person who is doing some miscellaneous mischief activity in your account, so I have deleted this for log group, right? So I will able to identify that this person has deleted something or he has created some machine. So this machine is created, that means something is fishy. Why this machine is created? So I will go and delete this machine. Is this machine is related to data breach? Is this machine was created to monitor my AWS account or to pass some virus, something like that? So I can go and terminate this machine directly. First of all, I should know na that what machine, what type of activity this person has been doing. Agree? So CloudTrail is that. So you should be aware the difference between CloudWatch and CloudTrail. CloudWatch is for monitoring the performance of your application, of your machine. CloudTrail monitor the activity done in your AWS account by the user. So generally, I remember CloudTrail as a CCTV camera or पड़ोस वाले आंटी who just keep on checking कि कौन क्या कर रहा है. Okay, there are some aunties in your society ना who is checking कौन आ रहा है, कौन जा रहा है, कौन किससे मिल रहा है, कौन कितना खा रहा है. That's a CloudTrail. And CloudWatch is basically the performance of your car, of your EC2 machine, of your S3. So that is the performance. So Amazon wants you to get confused between these two things. So point to remember, CloudWatch is used to monitor the performance. CloudWatch can monitor almost most of AWS services and the application running on your services. Application मतलब जैसे हमने इस EC2 मशीन के ऊपर अभी अपाचे इंस्टॉल किया था, अगर मैं चाहूँ तो मैं उसको CloudWatch को भेज सकता हूँ. ओके, इसमें जो भी एक्टिविटी मैं अभी कर रहा हूँ वो मैं CloudWatch को भेज सकता हूँ. CloudWatch with EC2 monitor events every 5 minutes by default. I told you, every 5 minutes your logs will be sent to CloudWatch. But if you want to run a detail monitoring, you don't want to send the logs every 5 minutes, but you want fast information. So you can configure for every 1 minute, you can send the information to CloudWatch, but it comes with additional charge. So in your console, go to your EC2 machine. Okay. If you are launching a new EC2 machine, you can configure from there as well, and you can update it after creating your EC2 machine. So if you scroll down, go to advanced section. Detail CloudWatch monitoring. Okay. By default, it's disabled. Okay. You can see by default it's disabled. That means every 5 minutes you can send the logs to EC2 machine. That's a default one. Okay, that's the out of the box feature available. हर 5 मिनट के बाद CloudWatch में logs जाएंगे ही जाएंगे, फ्री में जाएगी वो भी. But if you want to enable default detail monitoring, that no, I want detail information कि मेरे को 5 मिनट में नहीं, मुझे हर मिनट में चाहिए. So you can come here, enable the detail monitoring, but there is a charge associated to it. ये free tier में नहीं है. Okay, 5 minutes वाला free tier में है, but for 1 minute you have to pay some charges. This you can change it by here as well. आपने जो EC2 मशीन बनाया है उसमें आप सिलेक्ट कीजिए, एक्शन में जाके मॉनिटर में जाइए एंड you can see detail monitoring. You can enable from here, but you are going to get extra charge for that. Okay, so by default events are sent every 5 minutes, but if you want detail monitoring you can send the logs every 1 minute. You can create CloudWatch alarm which create a notification. You can create an alarm. Let's say कि आपका CPU utilization 90% से ऊपर नहीं जाना चाहिए. You can create some matrices. You can use that matrices and set an alarm. You can set a threshold of 80%. CloudWatch is all about performance. CloudTrail is all about auditing. Okay, user activity and auditing. So that's it all about CloudTrail and CloudWatch. Any question?